From a scholarship kid selling newspapers in Brookline to the owner of a 6-time Super Bowl champion and a privately built NFL stadium that reshaped a region's economy. Today, a diversified holding company spanning paper, packaging, sports, real estate, analytics, and venture. But the path wasn't what anyone expected. There's one decision Robert Kraft made that changed everything. Most people never see it coming. Robert Kenneth Kraft was born on June 5, 1941, in Brookline, Massachusetts. He grew up in a modest home in a tight-knit community, the son of Sarah and Harry Kraft. Public profiles describe after-school jobs and an early appetite for work. Athletics, school, and synagogue anchored childhood rhythms. The family had no ties to pro sports ownership. There was no silver spoon, just a student who took his studies seriously and earned his way to the next level. Education opened the first big door. Kraft earned a scholarship to Columbia University, where he graduated in 1963. According to Columbia's records and multiple profiles, he was a diligent student and served as a manager with the football program, already mixing business and sport, though no one could have predicted where that interest would lead. Harvard Business School followed, with an MBA in 1965. The pair, Columbia then Harvard, equipped him with analytical tools that would later be deployed far from Wall Street, in factories, warehouses, stadium sites, and boardrooms. Upon leaving Harvard, Kraft took a job with the Rand Whitney Group, a paper and packaging company controlled by the family of his future wife, Myra Hyatt Kraft. Within a few years, the young executive stepped into ownership. Public records and company histories show that in 1968 he acquired control of Rand Whitney. 4 years later, in 1972, he founded International Forest Products, IFP, a trading firm that moved pulp and paper around the world. According to company materials and reputable business coverage, IFP grew into one of the largest privately held paper and packaging traders globally. It was a classic industrial play: find the flows, master the logistics, be essential but invisible. The formative lesson: build a cash engine in the real economy. Move commodity materials through supply chains with precision. Earn small margins at scale and reinvest carefully. The discipline would matter decades later when growth moved from pallets to players, and from container ports to kickoff. Early career moves were practical. The paper business was not glamorous. It was cyclical, global, and unforgiving. Success required relationships with mills, shippers, printers, and brand owners. Kraft learned the cadence of contracts and currency, the fragility of supply chains, and the value of owning essential capability. In time, he created the Kraft Group, the family holding company that brought Rand Whitney, IFP, and related ventures under one roof. The problem he observed had nothing to do with paper. It was about sports economics. In the early 1980s, NFL franchises were valuable but not priced like the global media platforms they would become. Teams came and went in weak stadium leases. Owners threatened relocation to extract better terms. Municipalities and fan bases were held hostage to arena politics. In Foxborough, Massachusetts, a franchise in a small, aging venue, the New England Patriots, was caught in that bind. Kraft's first move was audacious because it wasn't the obvious one. He bought the stadium before buying the team. In 1988, he acquired the then Foxborough Stadium out of bankruptcy for approximately $25 million, as reported by the Boston Globe at the time. Owning a decaying concrete bowl in a swampy parcel southwest of Boston didn't look like a gateway to an NFL empire. But it did something priceless: it controlled the lease. The team could not move without the stadium owner's consent. That clause became leverage in the early 1990s when Patriots owner James Orthwain sought to relocate the team to St. Louis. A relocation would have required breaking the Foxborough lease. Kraft refused to release it. According to the New York Times and other reputable outlets, the standoff forced a different outcome. In 1994, Robert Kraft purchased the New England Patriots for $172 million, a record price for an NFL team at the time. Skepticism erupted. Commentators wondered if he had overpaid for a middling franchise with a crumbling stadium and a losing record. Season ticket holders were loyal but measured in number. Local infrastructure was strained. The business had little of the glamour attached to modern NFL dynasties. But Kraft hadn't bought a trophy. He purchased a platform. The next chapter would reveal how stadium control, franchise control, and a long-term view could compound into an empire that touched sports, real estate, media, and regional identity. But Robert Kraft was about to make a move that would change everything. Because when an owner controls the venue, the land, and the team, the economics of winning look different. The breakthrough was a sequence, not a single event. Stabilize the franchise, professionalize operations, upgrade leadership, and build an asset base that could fund sustained excellence on the field and off it. The contrarian insight behind the stadium first play was simple to state and hard to execute. In the NFL, the venue is not a backdrop. It is the cash engine. It controls game day revenue, premium seating, local sponsorships, naming rights, and the real estate where fans spend before and after events. By purchasing the stadium and its surrounding land first, Kraft flipped the traditional order of operations. He gained negotiation power with city, state, and league stakeholders. When he later bought the team, he owned both the product and the stage. On the football side, the first big validation came quickly. In 1994, the Patriots sold out every home game for the first time in franchise history, a streak that would continue for decades, as documented by team records and national coverage. In 1996, the team reached the Super Bowl under head coach Bill Parcells. A loss to the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31 stung, but the trajectory was unmistakable. The franchise was professionalizing. The pivotal football decision came in 2000. After a period of transition that included the hiring of Pete Carroll and changes in the front office, Kraft targeted Bill Belichick, then with the New York Jets. A complicated negotiation ensued, including compensation to the Jets in the form of draft picks, an unusual step that signaled conviction. That spring, the Patriots also drafted a little-known Michigan quarterback in the 6th round, Tom Brady. The pairing of Kraft as owner, Belichick as head coach, and Brady under center would define a generation of NFL history. On February 3, 2002, the Patriots defeated the St. Louis Rams in Super Bowl 36. Two more Lombardi trophies followed quickly, Super Bowls 38 and 39, cementing a first dynasty. After near misses and a perfect 16-0 regular season in 2007 that ended in a Super Bowl loss, the franchise returned to the summit, winning Super Bowls 49, 51, and LII. In all, under Robert Kraft's ownership, the Patriots won 6 Super Bowl championships. As reported by major outlets and the NFL's own historical records, that total put Kraft's franchise on the short list of the most successful in league history. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, infrastructure caught up to ambition. The old Foxborough Stadium was demolished. In 2002, Gillette Stadium opened, privately financed and purpose-built for modern revenue. As reported by reputable sports business outlets, the stadium's financing was structured with private funds and limited public support for surrounding infrastructure, a rare approach at the time. The venue included premium seating, improved sightlines, expanded concessions, and technology upgrades. Naming rights with Gillette anchored a top-tier sponsorship portfolio. Parking and traffic improvements reshaped game day flows. Then came Patriot Place, a 1.3 million square foot mixed-use development built adjacent to the stadium. It layered retail, restaurants, offices, medical facilities, and entertainment on top of the sports calendar. The stadium became the anchor of a year-round destination, diversifying revenue away from pure football and stabilizing cash flows across seasons. It was an empire move, transform a game day property into a regional economic engine. Kraft extended the sports portfolio into soccer. In 1996, he became an original investor in Major League Soccer and founded the New England Revolution as one of the league's charter teams. The Revolution played in Foxborough, sharing the venue while MLS stabilized. Over the years, the club reached multiple MLS Cup finals, contributing to the league's credibility in New England and supporting U.S. soccer development. Sports weren't the only domain to scale. Within the Kraft Group, the paper and packaging businesses matured into a global network. Rand Whitney and International Forest Products continued operating across continents. The holding company diversified into venture investments and analytics. Kraft Analytics Group, KAGR, developed data platforms for teams and leagues to optimize ticketing, fan engagement, and operations, turning the Patriots' homegrown analytics capabilities into a service business that sold insight as a product. The pattern that emerged was systematic rather than lucky. Acquire control over critical infrastructure. Recruit elite operators and give them autonomy with accountability. Build enduring brands around culture and performance. Layer real estate and data businesses over fan passion. Reinvest wins into assets that compound, not into optics that decay. But success was about to attract unwanted attention, because when a team wins too often and a business grows too fast, challenges find it from every direction. Empires face storms, reputational controversy, collective bargaining turmoil, rising competition, and human setbacks. Robert Kraft's story includes each of those tests. On the field, sustained dominance made the Patriots a target. In 2007, the NFL disciplined the organization after an investigation into videotaping opposing coaches' signals, an episode widely known as Spygate. The league fined the team and head coach Bill Belichick and stripped the Patriots of a future first-round draft pick. The facts are part of NFL history. The immediate cost was financial and competitive. The longer-term test was cultural. Could the organization absorb a reputational hit and continue to perform? Over the next decade, the answer was plain on the scoreboard. But the lesson was sharper: success magnifies scrutiny. Systems must be resilient enough to absorb both errors and external pressure. In 2011, the NFL's collective bargaining agreement expired, leading to a lockout that paused operations for months. According to ESPN and other reputable outlets, Kraft played a crucial role in brokering a new CBA. The timing was personally difficult. His wife and philanthropic partner Myra passed away in July 2011. Public statements from owners and players that summer credited Kraft's presence and efforts during negotiations. A new 10-year CBA was agreed, restoring the season. The league's economic model stabilized, television contracts grew, and the team-level economics that underpinned stadium debt and franchise valuations were secured. This was a different kind of empire building, stewarding an industry's rules of engagement. Competitive cycles tested resolve. The Patriots lost Super Bowls 42 and 46 to the New York Giants, and saw near-perfect seasons end in heartbreak. The franchise navigated roster transitions, free agency departures, and the eventual departure of Tom Brady after the 2019 season. In 2020, the Patriots started a new era. The test in that transition was philosophical. Would the organizational standards built under Kraft endure beyond a singular quarterback-coach pairing? Results have been mixed on the field since, but the business fundamentals, a full building, strong sponsorships, and a diversified campus, remained intact. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the larger business dealt with cycles in paper and packaging, global trade tensions, and supply chain volatility. The Kraft Group remained privately held, weathering downturns using diversified cash flows and a long view. The Revolution continued competing in MLS as the league expanded and media rights evolved. Philanthropy formed a continuous thread through challenges. The Kraft family's giving in Greater Boston touched healthcare, education, and community services. Public records show named centers and programs. The Kraft Center for Community Health at Massachusetts General Hospital and Brigham and Women's Hospital, launched with a gift reported at $20 million in 2011. The Kraft Family Blood Donor Center at Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and Brigham and Women's Hospital. Youth football and education programs via the Patriots Foundation, and multiple initiatives in Jewish causes locally and abroad. As reported by Forbes and local institutions, philanthropic commitments scaled with business outcomes, anchoring legacy beyond the balance sheet. Regulatory and reputational firestorms are never comfortable. For a public figure and major sports owner, the news cycle is constant. Yet the organizational pattern, delegate to professionals, focus on operations, keep investing in the core, and engage with community, sustained continuity through turbulence. The challenge chapter distilled a principle: build a structure that can take a punch. The outcome was far from certain through each storm, but what happened next surprised everyone by its scale, not its logic. The empire can be measured in wins, valuations, square footage, and institutions. On the field, the Patriots delivered 6 Super Bowl titles under Robert Kraft's ownership. According to the NFL's historical record, those championships, 36, 38, 39, XLIX, Lee, and LII, put the franchise in the modern pantheon. Consecutive playoff appearances, division titles, and championship game berths turned the team into a perennial contender for 2 decades. Coaches and executives trained in Foxborough went on to leadership roles across the league, exporting the culture. In business terms, the team's value compounded. According to Forbes' 2023 NFL team valuations, the New England Patriots are worth more than $7 billion, ranking among the most valuable sports franchises in the world. The stadium and mixed-use campus generated recurring revenues beyond game day, concerts, corporate events, retail, healthcare services, dining, and entertainment. Regional infrastructure improved, property values rose, and the once lonely venue became a year-round destination. The Revolution anchored MLS in New England. The club's presence contributed to the league's expansion and to a broader U.S. soccer culture. While MLS's media landscape transformed, the club's role in incubating talent and serving supporters created compounding affinity in a region otherwise dominated by the NFL. The Kraft Group's industrial core remained robust. International forest products continued transacting globally in pulp and paper, navigating commodity cycles with a trader's discipline. Rand Whitney expanded into modern manufacturing and sustainable packaging. These businesses, less visible than the Patriots, are part of the empire's ballast, cash flows that do not depend on wins and losses. Kraft Analytics Group grew alongside a league-wide hunger for data. As sports shifted to dynamic pricing, digital marketing, and personalized experiences, KAGR's platforms and services helped clubs and leagues optimize ticketing, retention, and sponsor ROI. What began as a team capability became a product, a microcosm of the broader Kraft model: build something useful, then scale it beyond the original use case. Robert Kraft's personal profile rose with the empire. According to Forbes' 2024 billionaire rankings, his net worth is estimated at over $10 billion. Recognition followed: team and league awards, civic honors, and roles on national boards and committees. The Patriots' annual rhythms, training camp, season, playoffs, became regional markers, generating economic impact studies and tourism campaigns. The stadium's skyline and the Patriot Place complex became landmarks. The philanthropic empire expanded. Public records and institutional announcements document major gifts to healthcare, including the Kraft Center for Community Health and the Kraft Family Blood Donor Center, education, scholarships and facilities at Columbia University and other institutions, and civic life. The Patriots Foundation amplified giving with programs in education, youth football, volunteerism, and social justice. When crises hit, natural disasters, pandemics, the organization mobilized logistics and facilities to support relief, aided by the group's operating scale. The compounding effect is visible in how the pieces interact. Sports brands create attention and trust. Real estate captures foot traffic and transforms it into recurring commerce. Analytics refine operations to squeeze more value from every seat and every customer relationship. Industrial businesses, meanwhile, generate steady returns. Philanthropy converts financial capital into social capital, reinforcing a license to operate that money alone cannot buy. This is the architecture of an empire, interlocking parts that reinforce one another across time. But here's what this actually means for anyone watching. The visible trophies and sold-out crowds are effects. The cause is a repeatable way of building and compounding moats. A handful of principles explain why Robert Kraft's approach worked, and why it wasn't just luck, market timing, or an extraordinary quarterback. Own the critical bottleneck. In sports, the bottleneck is often the venue. By acquiring the stadium lease and land before acquiring the team, Kraft controlled the decision that mattered most: where the franchise would play and how revenue would flow. According to the New York Times and contemporaneous reporting, that leverage forced a sale of the team rather than a relocation and created the foundation for private stadium financing. Build permanent cash engines. Gillette Stadium and Patriot Place turned event revenue into year-round income. Industrial holdings like International Forest Products and Rand Whitney added economic ballast across cycles. Permanent cash engines let a builder stay patient on the field and aggressive in capital projects. Recruit elite operators and get out of their way. The Patriots' football operations were entrusted to professionals with clear authority. The most famous case, Bill Belichick's tenure, illustrates the point. On the business side, trusted executives ran units with autonomy and accountability. Headquarters set standards, not plays. Reinvest into moats, not appearances. Stadium upgrades, data infrastructure, fan experience, and real estate expansions are compounding moats. Public optics, press conferences and slogans don't endure. Systems do. The shift from Foxborough Stadium to Gillette Stadium to Patriot Place shows how reinvestment multiplied advantages. Play the long game with leagues and partners. The 2011 CBA negotiations revealed a skill beyond team building: industry stewardship. Aligning owners and players under a long-term economic deal stabilized the asset class. Sports empires grow when leagues are healthy. The move from franchise operator to league statesman multiplied Kraft's influence and preserved value. Diversify the empire to de-risk performance cycles. Wins are wonderful. Losses happen. By building robust businesses around packaging, trading, analytics, and real estate, the Kraft Group kept cash flowing regardless of standings. This allowed football decisions to be made on competitive merit, not cash panic. Make civic value part of the model. Philanthropic investments in healthcare, education, and community services are not just generous. They are strategic in the best sense, aligning the empire's reputation with visible public good. The Kraft Center for Community Health and the Kraft Family Blood Donor Center are examples of philanthropy as institution building. Why it wasn't just luck becomes obvious in the repetition of behavior over decades. The early paper businesses reflect a disciplined operator in commodity markets. The stadium-first approach reflects a strategist who sees leverage others miss. The team's championships reflect an owner who delegates to excellence. The real estate and analytics reflect a builder who layers assets that feed one another. The philanthropy reflects a leader aware that legacy is earned, not announced. What's required to adapt this playbook at any scale is accessible. Identify the choke points in a chosen industry. Acquire or build control over them. Recruit operators with clear mandates. Reinforce the system with data, not slogans. Reinvest into assets that lower cost, increase switching friction for competitors, or expand the surface area where customers spend time and money. Protect reputation with action, not press releases. Modern applicability is strong. In an era where content, live events, and data intersect, the move from franchise to platform is the difference between yearly hustle and durable wealth. Regional developments are no longer side projects. They are the economic spine of sports. Analytics isn't a buzzword. It's the operating system. And community isn't a marketing department. It's the reason the doors stay open during the hard seasons. But that's not the full picture. There is a pattern, hiding in plain sight, used by empire builders across sectors to multiply wealth systematically through control points, compounding assets, and time. But here's what most people miss about how Robert Kraft did this. There's a pattern. A strategy hiding in plain sight. The Forbes 400 know it. They exploit it. They've built fortunes with it. It breaks down the 4 proven deployment methods the Forbes 400 used to multiply wealth, systematically. First link in the description. Watch it next. 10 minutes, that could change everything.